Same bitch. You better brush your teeth before you lean in for a kiss, okay? That is all I am saying.
It was just such a dumb idea, bro, but it was so funny.
Get out of here. Is it really?
This is hard, bro. We're doing hard work.
Shrimp and coffee. Weird combo, but I love it.
I'm really good at talking shit.
You're surreal for that.
Not that I like that other people are struggling too. I'm sorry, you guys are all struggling too, but at least we're not alone.
What is this all about?
Oh my God.
Dude, are you fucking kidding me?
I don't know. I mean, I guess there's always work to do, but sometimes you gotta just like calm the fuck down. And that's what I'm trying to embody now, and not make everything such a big deal if I'm not feeling exactly how I want to be feeling.
Welcome to Unshut, a place where if at any point you feel like you need to shut the up, don't. Hey Chris, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, how are you doing?
Good man. How you doing? Nice to meet you, Mo.
Nice to meet you too. I'm doing good. Kind of enjoying the fact that it's not super hot just yet, but we're getting there.
Where are you?
I'm in Austin, Texas.
Ah, okay. I'm in Orlando, so I'm also dreading the heat.
Dude, how do you deal with that humidity?
I hate it. I'm not gonna lie, bro. It fucking sucks. But as a singer, it's good for you though.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah, it's better than being in some drier environments. And this winter was nice. It was actually got very cold a couple of times, so we kind of lucked out.
Very cool. Well, I'm super excited to have you. Thank you so much for making the time.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, of course. Well, you started playing piano at the age of 5, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct. Yeah, my parents I think I just expressed some interest, and they gave it a shot because they were good parents and they recognized that I had a gift, and they forced me to keep doing it. And thank God they did.
Okay, I've been dying to ask you this ever since I found out about you playing the piano when you were little and then listening to your Can You Feel It EP. So we're jumping right in if you couldn't tell, okay? Why the separation on not doing piano songs on your EP? I feel like this EP was very influenced by like guitar. The instrumental side of things is not very heavily influenced by piano. Why is that?
I think it's because I don't play guitar very well that I felt like very inspired by it. Because I hear piano all the time, but guitar, I love the sound of a guitar. I'm just like, I'm pretty like, I've never really committed to getting good at it, so I'm like just fine. And at the time too, I was kind of opening up more to like folk and singer-songwriter music and country. So it was just kind of the phase I was going in that kind of it all tied in really nicely. But it's a good question though.
Very cool. Have any of your songs that are on this EP or any of your other albums that are heavily, or I don't know why I'm using the word heavily. I guess I just feel kind of
You're
like, yeah, I don't even know. But when, they're very big on like guitar, right? Have any of them started on the piano, but then were recorded with guitar?
No, I don't generally write at the piano. Occasionally I write the guitar, but usually I use Logic Pro and I make beats. And usually I start with the beat and I write from there almost every time. Sometimes I'll write first, I'll write lyrics first and then put a beat to it later, but that's pretty rare. Almost every time now I make the beat first.
Dude, I love it. I've been so fascinated about this just because I do love the groovy guitars that are in your music. And so when I read that you had been playing the piano for so long, I was like, I've got to pick his brain about this because I was fascinated.
Yeah, thanks, man. That's a cool question.
No, for sure. And you were previously in a band, if I'm not mistaken.
I've been in a few different bands. So I sing in a band called Frequency. We do corporate gigs here in Orlando. I also sang kind of still sing in a boy band called the Collective Five. It's a boy band tribute act. We've talked about doing original music. We haven't necessarily gotten there yet, but we've gotten to play on Disney Cruise Line. We played in the Disney parks. We have a few gigs coming up this year on some of the, like in Universal in Orlando. So we've been blessed. We've been able to like do some really cool things in a relatively short time.
Do you feel like that separation between going from a dynamic of a group to a solo act is difficult for you, or has it just become so easy for you because you're just on stage all the time?
It's easy because I'm on stage all the time. And to be honest with you, I am primarily a solo act. Most of the times that I've been, well, that's not necessarily. These days, when I started, I was a solo act, writing, basically just writing music for myself. And then I found the dueling piano community. So that was my first steady gig. And I did that I still do it. I just don't do it as often. But I started that in 2017. Then I found Frequency Band where I'm just a singer and I don't have to play anything in 2018. So when I'm making it, I have these kind of two different worlds, I guess is the way to put it. Like I have my artist life where I'm very much a solo artist. And then I have the gigging musician that pays all the bills. And that has been very collaborative. But recently, I've been able to do a lot more solo gigs, which is fun because I play what I want. It's a little bit more intimate usually. Yeah, I've been doing some stuff with some smaller outfits recently too, like a three-piece band versus like a 7 to 10 piece, and that's pretty fun too. I'm enjoying like more intimate sessions with people.
I feel like it just makes you a much better, well-rounded artist, in my opinion, because you are able to kind of take a break from all of these different acts, I guess you can say. I don't know what you would call them, but I feel like, like you said, you're able to not play any instruments in one of them. So you get to take a little bit of a break. And I feel like every single time, to me, it would feel like it's a refresher. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is nice having a variety. I like that. I don't always have to do every part of it. I like it most generally when I can just focus on singing and kind of like telling a story. That's my favorite thing to do. I love playing the piano. I'm grateful I can play the piano, but if I can have somebody I trust to accompany me while I sing, like I feel good. At least just in this season, it changes all the time. You know what I mean? But right now, that's what I've really been feeling drawn to.
Well, I am loving that season that you are in. I'm just going to say that, okay?
Thank
Of course. I wanted to talk about something real quick before we jump into talking about your music and deep diving some of your song titles and some of your lyrics. I want to talk about your bio on Instagram. It says that Winnie the Pooh is in your rap album. What is this all about?
Oh my God. That's a great question, my friend. So Pooh Bear is my favorite. He's been my favorite my whole life. Actually, I got the movie poster from one of the first movies back there. Pooh Bear has just always really spoken to me. He's made me very happy. And he just melts me for as long as I can possibly remember. So I was putting together this concept album called Be Free Christopher. It evolved into this concept album. It took about 5 years to make. And the interludes on the project are conversations with people in my life. And they just kind of happened organically. The theme of the album is what does it mean to be free? Is that one question. And so I was asking people in my life about it just to get insights, maybe get inspiration, and just, facilitate conversation with friends. And so I started recording these conversations because they were pretty juicy. And when I was putting the songs together and trying to sequence them, I didn't know how to connect them because the songs are all kind of different. Some of them feel sort of similar. They're hip hop songs, but then there's pop and there's neo soul and then there's things that I don't really know how to define. And I didn't know how to connect them outside of they were all really on this one journey of me trying to figure out, who I am over this 5 year period. And I wanted Jim Cummings on the album so bad. Jim Cummings is the voice of Winnie the Pooh. He's been the voice of Pooh since the 80s for my whole life. I wanted him involved in this project in some way. And I didn't know how I was going to make it happen, but I wanted it. So, I started looking into manifestation, which I've always been like into, but like this was one of the first times I really, really dug my heels in. I'm like, we're going to make this shit happen. So feeling the sensations of it. Oh yeah, so excited, so grateful, trying to like really let myself have that. And I start looking up, how do I book this guy? And there's some agency or whatever he's involved with, and you got to like put your budget in and your cause and all that and reach out. So filled out the application, nothing happened. I'm like, let's try again. I go on, I find a different agency and the application process looks exactly the same. I'm like, all right, well, I don't know about this. So I did it again, still nothing. And then somehow it was a sponsored ad. I looked up Jim Cummings or something like that, or how to book Jim Cummings, and a sponsored ad was Cameo. And are you familiar with the service Cameo?
So sick, dude.
It's so clutch. So basically, you give somebody, $300, 250. I paid them 275 or whatever it is, and they say happy birthday or whatever it is that you want them to say. So I wrote him a message. I sent him $275. I'm like, answer the question, what does it mean to be free as yourself, Jim Cummings, and as Winnie the Pooh? So a week or so later, he sends me a message. I think it might have been Thanksgiving. I watched this video. It's like a minute and a half long. And it was like, oh my God, fucking Jim Cummings, fucking Winnie the Pooh was talking to me. And then he threw in Tigger as well. And I was like, dude. And I put my name in there as Christopher instead of Chris, because my name is Christopher, but I go by Chris generally. But I knew he would make the connection between Christopher Robin and Christopher Scalco, and he fucking did it. And I was like, yes, dude. So as soon as he sent that, everything unlocked. The rest of the album was like, I know exactly what I need to do. I cut that up. I made an interlude out of it. I cut the other conversations that I had with my friends and with my dad, and I put them in there as well. And that was the thing that glued the album together. That helped me enter the final like sequencing of the album. So after 5 years of having all these songs and not knowing what to do with them, that was what helped me actually glue it together. So it was super special in the moment, man. It was very, very meaningful for me.
Dude, that is such a sick story. And I love the message of manifestation, but also the message without even having you say it, but resilience, right? Not giving up and having this idea and just shooting your shot whichever way you can. And I love that because I feel that way whenever I shoot my shot with reaching out to artists like you to come on the show. I manifest it, I envision it, and it's always such a good feeling when I do hear back because I talk about this on the show all the time, I do not take a lot of inquiries. Hundreds of my episodes are just artists that I reach out to myself. I don't just invite people just for the sake of having episodes. And so I love that feeling and I love the resilience because whether you hear back or not, you still have to keep showing up. And I think that says a lot about you. So I love that story for sure.
I appreciate that, man. And that's awesome that you have made all these connections happen for yourself too. And that like you built this kind of platform based on shooting your own shot and people saying yes. So good for you, man. It says a lot about you as well.
Well, I appreciate that so much, especially coming from you. But I wanted to ask you about this because I was fascinated about the Winnie the Pooh reference. And then we are going to talk a little bit about that album that you were just talking about because I am stupidly obsessed with the questions and the messages behind it. But I wanted to ask you about this. You know, or you have heard about the theory of Winnie the Pooh and the characters, right?
Like how they're all tied to different emotions.
Yes.
Or like not emotions, but like like mental illnesses.
Yes. Okay. So I wanted to bring this up for you. So, for those that are listening, the theory is that Christopher Robin is schizophrenic and the characters are all of his moods and personalities. So, in honor of the Winnie the Pooh mention that's on your bio, but also that's tied into this album of yours, this is going to be Moody Chris. Are you ready?
Let's do
The
it.
first one I have is Eeyore. He is depression. What can Chris rely on to get him out of a depressive state?
Knowing that it will eventually pass is kind of sometimes all I have to cling on to, but that's all you need sometimes.
Dude, such a good reminder. The next one I have for you is Piglet is anxiety. Is there anything that gives you anxiety?
Is there anything that doesn't, is the question. A lot of things give me anxiety. I go through seasons where I'm very anxious, and then I go through seasons where I'm feeling a bit more confident. But there is sort of an underlying anxiety a lot of the time. Being in social situations sometimes makes me anxious. Fear of rejection when it comes to women, when it comes to my career, when it comes to putting effort behind posting something or making a song. The songwriting process gives me anxiety. A lot of things give me anxiety, but a lot of things bring me peace too. So
You're surreal for that. I love that.
I can't lie to you, man. This is but my experience, bro. This is what we're here to do. We're here to be honest with each other. So thanks for giving me the time.
Dude, hell yeah. The next one I have for you is Tigger is ADHD. When or where are you the most easily distracted?
All the time. I mean, bro, like all the time. When I wake up in the morning, I used to journal more consistently at night. And I would on Sundays schedule out my whole week and I would check in with it every night. And I would check in with it throughout the day and address the tasks. And I did find that beneficial. And maybe I need to get back to that. But I feel like when I wake up now without a clear plan, or like I'll have an idea of what I want to do or how I want to approach the day the night before. And then I wake up and then I'm like, I don't want to do any of that. And so then I'll go back to sleep, and then I've slept way longer than I need to, way more, longer than my body asked me to. And then I get up and I'm like, all right, well, it's time to start doing these things. And then it's deciding what the thing is. But then, like, well, this also feels important, and this also could be a good idea. Maybe I should start with this. And you start this, and I'm like, shit, but I should. So it's kind of a daily thing. I was on medication for a few months last year, and that's the first time I tried it, and I got myself off it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just don't really want to do it if I don't have to. I believe that there's more that I can be doing to go about it naturally. Like today, I'm not going to have coffee, which I love coffee, but I know that it kind of gets me more jittery. So I'm going to try things like that to not have to medicate myself to be able to calm the fuck down. But, I also understand that if it's helpful, and you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean?
Dude, 100%. And I totally can relate to that because I put everything in my calendars. Okay. Everything goes. If it's not in my calendar, it doesn't happen. When I don't have anything on there, it is so hard to pinpoint what exactly my structure for the day is going to be. So I totally get it. The next one is Rabbit is OCD. Is Chris a neat freak?
I am neat. I'm not a neat freak, but I'm a control freak. In that way, I relate to Rabbit, where it feels like it has to be done this exact way or look this exact way or it's not right. You know what I mean? And it's a practice relaxing and flowing. You know what I mean? It's funny as we talk about these things, I feel like I feel more of them when I'm by myself. They all feel more intense when I'm by myself. Like I love solitude. I live alone. Like I love being alone, but I do think that I am probably more at ease with a group of people with whom I'm comfortable. You know what I mean? I don't know. I was gonna say that I am on my own, but I think it depends on the season. Because sometimes I'm at home and I'm really, really at peace, and then sometimes I'm at home and I'm fucking trying to control everything, but I don't even know where to start controlling, and that brings me anxiety. And then we're in the 100 acre woods.
I feel like that's something a lot of creatives have in common is that imbalance of when you are and when you are not. And so that's so relatable because there is no telling when you're going to be triggered with this anxiety. But I think that a common thread that I see is that a lot of creatives, they just have so much going on in their heads and it's so hard to shut it off. So, like you said, it comes in seasons. Sometimes you can be in solitude. Sometimes it's easier when you're with a lot of other people. And so I feel like that's just such a common thing I see with speaking to a lot of creatives.
And that's good to know because it can feel like a kind of solitary journey sometimes. It can feel like you're the only one experiencing it. And I know it's not true, but it does feel that way. So it's good to hear that. Not that I like that other people are struggling too. I'm sorry you guys are all struggling too, but at least we're not alone.
Exactly. At least we're not struggling together for sure. Or at least we're not struggling alone. There you go. The next one I have for you is Winnie the Pooh is impulsivity or eating. What is a food you could overeat every day? No problem.
I really like shrimp. I like shrimp a lot. When I was a kid, I had like one of those party rings from Walmart. It was like some crazy, it was either 75 or 130. It was some crazy thing, but I ate the whole thing in one sitting.
Do you like spicy food?
I do to a point. I don't like it so hot, but I can't taste it. But I like a little bit of a kick though.
Okay, you'll have to look up shrimp a la diabla. It's my favorite Mexican shrimp dish ever. So it sometimes
Okay.
can be super spicy, but it's not always made too spicy. So I think you'll like it.
Thank you. I like shrimp fra diavolo, which is like the Italian version of that, like a spicy shrimp Italian dish.
Yes,
So I
of
probably would
course. Hell
that and then
yeah.
coffee. Coffee I definitely have way too much of. I need to keep that in check.
Shrimp and coffee. Weird combo, but I love it. The next one I have for you is Al is narcissism. What is a Chris trait you're overly confident about that you bring to the table?
This is random, I think, but in competitive environments, if I'm like playing a game or something like that, I'm really good at talking shit. Like I'm really good at talking shit. And it's not even that I necessarily feel confident that I'm going to win. I just love talking shit. It's almost better when I don't necessarily think I can win because it keeps it from being mean. Like I'm never trying to be mean, but I just love talking shit. I don't know, man. There's something about it. It's just fun. It's
No,
fun
I
to like.
have never ever heard anyone else explain that because it's so me 100%. I love being so competitive and I can be such a sore loser. However, I always like to tell people this. I'm a sore loser, but I'll never bring the mood down for anyone else. So I'll crack jokes on myself too, but that's where the shit talking comes.
I don't find that I'm necessarily extremely competitive. I'm okay with losing. I don't think I'm a sore loser. I don't know. I just love getting people like riled up. And I think because they like feel that I'm not serious, nobody ever like takes it too seriously. But I don't know, man. I just love just something about it. It just maybe it's just a release for me. Maybe I just need to release a lot of energy. So I'm just like start cursing at people.
Are you Italian by any chance?
I am Italian. Did you notice from the everything? Fucking talking with my hands.
I noticed it from the talking, the hands, the last name's also giving, but I'm part Italian too, so I totally get it. I'm sensing the similarities here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just sometimes you just want to be loud. Just want to just talk shit just a little bit.
Dude, exactly. There's nothing wrong with that. My discovery to you was Can You Feel It? The way I want to slow dance to this and romanticize my kitchen like I am in a movie is insane.
Can you feel it? How it feels when it's all coming down. Can you feel it? Nothing left to say, but nothing is the same at all. No, no, no. Yeah.
When's the last time you've grooved around your own place and romanticized over anything in your house and just kind of like grooved around and, kind of felt this feeling of like just wanting to slow dance, whether it was your song or another song?
Great question. Hmm. There is a song that always gets me going, and it's Upside Down by the A-Teens. You know them?
Dude, are you fucking kidding me? I am like the biggest 18's fucking fan in this entire universe, okay?
How old are you, Mo?
I am 36.
Okay, I'm 34. So did you grow up on Radio Disney?
I did.
That's my whole fucking childhood. So I'm going to tell you something. In addition to the Jim Cummings manifestation, I had one more that came shortly after. I haven't released it yet, but I'm gonna release it soon. Do you know who BB Good is?
I do,
She's
yes.
a DJ on Radio Disney, and I wanted her. The initial idea was to like do like a 2000s hip hop mixtape where like I had a DJ host the mixtape, and I thought it would have been really funny if that DJ was BB Good because this is like not a traditional rap mixtape, and she's obviously not a mixtape DJ. But I thought it would have been so sick. It didn't work out that way, but I ended up going to her house in Dallas, and she was super gracious, and she let me do an interview with her. I tried to like cut up pieces of the interview for the album, but it didn't really work. But we got a great conversation out of it. I'm gonna post that soon. I'll send that to you. But yeah, I figured if you know that song, you probably had that kind of an upbringing because I don't know how much of a hit it was on mainstream radio, but in my heart, that song is immortal.
Dude, I am like just the happiest person ever. We could literally cut the interview now because I am just like, you have no idea how many times on episodes, dude, I have been like, do you know this song by the 18s? And some of my guests are like, no, never heard of them. I fucking love them. And you and I will definitely have to talk off record about our 18s love because no one ever fucking gets it. And for the first time, someone else brought them up. So therefore, it wasn't me saying 18s over again.
I remember when I was a kid, we used to go to Disney a lot, and they had like a pin store. They still have a pin store in downtown Disney or Disney Springs now. And every time I would walk by, they were playing the Lilo and Stitch ending credit song, "Can't Help Falling in Love" by 18s. I have heard that song more times than I can count, but it's just like I don't know. They're just baked into my taste, my musical taste, like my memory. Like it's just so. It automatically feels good. You know what I mean? Like it just hits all the right places for me.
Dude, 100%. So next time I listen to 18s, I'm going to picture Chris just dancing around in his kitchen in his house, doing all the crazy fun dance moves and living it up. And also, side note, shout out to their new song Iconic because it fucking hits. If you haven't listened to it, go and do that ASAP.
Saw that there was some collaboration that looked like with a DJ or something like that. Is that the actual new song or is it a remix of an old song?
It's their actual new song, and it's so, so good.
Adults.
You said what?
You don't have to laugh. And they're not 18, they're adults.
Oh, I'm fucking dead. You cut out so I didn't catch it.
Ah, okay.
That is too funny.
But anyway, I will check that song.
I love it. Yes, check it out. Iconic. Now, it could be a remake, I'm not sure, but it's such a good song. While we were talking about Winnie the Pooh, we obviously couldn't talk about Be Free Christopher because there are so many deep meanings here. And honestly, if I could ask you a question about every single song on this project, I would, but I can't because I'm on time restrictions. But I do want to ask you this. Why was the theme of freedom or liberation so important to you on this album?
It was so important to me in real life. You know, I felt like I was being held back by my fears of so many different things. I felt like I saw this ideal version of myself, a version who was like confident and self-assured and in great shape and consistently creating, having a really healthy relationship with my art, not afraid to sit down and like let whatever, you know, in my singing voice, being as open and as expressive as I could be. And I felt like there were so many obstacles to me just embodying that person every single day. And so I became obsessed with my growth because I was like, I just can't keep being this person who's afraid of everything. I have to figure out how to get beyond this.
When I was 27, thinking Amy Curtin Janis shot. Now I'm 30 and I know I'm about to pop. Only a matter of will I let myself have it or not. Strip away the fear and the truth remains. All of that pressure stops them bleeding. Nothing left to do but choose a lane. No shortcuts on the road to healing. Strip away the fear and the truth remains.
It was a really, really personal journey. And the music always comes from that kind of place for me. The music is really how it's like therapy. It's how I process my inner experience. And it was just a reflection of where I was in my life at the time. I thought that I would get to a point where I would kind of outgrow the feeling of inadequacy. And I don't think you can, but I also don't know that that's a problem anymore. It's not that it makes life fun or easy or comfortable. I don't know that it means I'm doing anything wrong if I'm experiencing it. You know what I mean? Or that there's work to do necessarily. I don't know. I mean, I guess there's always work to do, but sometimes you gotta just like calm the fuck down. And that's what I'm trying to embody now, and not make everything such a big deal if I'm not feeling exactly how I want to be feeling. Does that make sense?
It does. And I feel like you're wording it so perfectly without even maybe realizing that you are, because I feel like the deeper message here was, and what I took from this album was that it's a never-ending question. I think you're always going to constantly be freeing yourself of something, whether it's familial ties, whether it's relationship trauma or heartache, it's always going to carry out. And that's what I took from that. So I think that your answer is so aligned with what I took from this project. And now I'm also curious to ask you, in this album, you talked about sacrificing your sanity to give them what they want. Did you struggle with this boundary, or did it come easy once you realized it wasn't worth it anymore?
I definitely struggle with that boundary. There was a point where I was the only person in my family who could like have a deep conversation with everybody in my family. And because I was on such a growth journey, I was very like passionate about it. And I knew what the work was doing for me. And I believed I could like heal the family line if I heal myself. Maybe to some extent, but not entirely. And it also got to the point where like we had not to put too much of my family shit out here, but we had a moment where like there was a moment where it came together, my family, and in a season of like real growth for me, where I felt like, oh my God, maybe we did it. Maybe we hit a finish line. Maybe I like really did heal the thing I needed to heal. Maybe we're like good now. And it was an amazing moment. And then it kind of quickly devolved into what it's been. And that moment, I realized like you can't make anybody do anything they don't want to do. You know what I mean? And it's not their fault. They don't want to do it. It's on me to change my relationship with this. So the boundary I had to set was I am hurt by the fact that I can't fix us and I need time to process that. That's not anybody's fault but my own. But again, I had to learn that there is no finish line. You do so much work that you eventually clean everything up and everything is just good, and it just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. So now I'm in a healthier place with my relationships because I'm in a place of greater acceptance, because I don't need anyone to be anything they're not anymore for me to feel like things are going as they should be. Does that make sense? There is no should or should be. It's everybody's going to do what they want to do. And I got to try to just show up with more empathy and more love. And I could do better about that, to be honest with you. But I'm in a healthier place with my own relationship to it, at least.
Wow. I mean, I couldn't have said it any better. And I think that the message here is also realizing what the intention is behind the actions when it comes to, giving others grace, or like you said, repairing relationships or mending whatever it is that you feel like you need to mend. And I think that it's such a good reminder that when you go into something like that with the intention of it doing it for others, you don't really get so far, but you really do become more at peace and more at ease with everything around you when the intention comes from doing it for you. It's a tough realization to go through, but I love that you are sharing this, because I think that it's just such a good reminder for anyone listening to just remember intention is everything. And you really have to question what that intention is before you go into action.
Yeah, and that's why the music is what it is, because it was very much like I had to do it for me, man. I had to. I'm with myself all the time, and if I know how I feel and I don't feel good, it has to be for me first, and I believe that the best thing for you, truly, it's the best thing for everyone. The best thing that I could do for me is the best thing I could do for the world. And if I don't know, there's probably are moments of selflessness. I'm not gonna act like I got this figured out. I don't know shit, but like I have found that if I'm truly, truly doing what I have to do for me and I'm honoring what I feel, ultimately it is going to be the best thing for everyone involved, even if in the short term it doesn't necessarily look like that. But yeah, no, I totally agree, man. You have to check your intention, and you have to make sure you're not coming from a place of ego as much as you're able to. And then you have to be able to have grace, because you don't always know. Sometimes you can't see it. Sometimes you think you're coming from a good place. Maybe your heart's in the right place, but like there is some pain there and you don't know that it's there until it gets revealed. You know what I mean? So we have to
Dude,
have fucking empathy and forgiveness. It's hard. This is hard, bro. We're doing hard work.
no, you are
Not
preaching right now, dude. You are fucking preaching, because all I can think about too is that when you do something good for you, really it's a domino effect, but the domino effect is really none of your business. Did you actually do what you intended to do with a good intention? And it can become a domino effect. But I think that it's so funny because you talked about having control, being somewhat of a control freak earlier today. But then here I am talking to someone who's learning to let go of that control. If you do what's good for you, you let it go out into the universe, and how others react to it, it's on them, not on you. So I love it. I love full circle moments like this on the show. I live for them.
Yeah. Well, thank you, man. That's how I learn all these things is just honestly showing up and diving in. And it requires a lot of courage. And that's where like some of the anxiety stems from. It's like, you have to do some scary shit sometimes. And it is going to work out. It is what's necessary for your growth. But sometimes you just don't have the courage to do it. And maybe that's where some anxiety stems from too. You know what I mean? Because it's hard, bro. It's a lot. It's heavy. Like it's a pain in the ass.
It is a pain in the ass, and thank you so much for sharing all that for sure. I know it's not always easy because not only are you having to get vulnerable, you don't have to, but you're choosing to become vulnerable in your writing, in your music, but now also in an interview like this. And that's not always easy to do. So thank you so much for going there with me with that for sure. I've been fascinated with this whole concept, the freedom of that album, and I was dying to ask you about that.
Thank you for, making space for it, man. This is what it's actually about. You know what I mean? That's what my experience actually is. So I appreciate you giving me space to talk about it.
No, for sure. And on a lighter note, we're going to shoot the shit a little bit. So, in honor of In the Morning, off of your Boy Bands and Boom Bap album, these are going to be some dental hygiene speed questions. Are you ready?
Yes, bring it on.
Well, actually, before I even start, you really got me with that line because same bitch, you better brush your teeth before you lean in for a kiss, okay? That is all I am saying. But the line I am referring to is I want to kiss those pretty lips, but first you got to brush your teeth. This sent me and I immediately wrote it down and was like, I've got to rock with it because I fucking loved it. So for any of those listening, go check out that song.
Yeah, I wanna kiss those pretty lips, but first you gotta brush your teeth. Nothing but sheets. Oh, we don't need that funky stuff. Nothing but me. Oh, you. Now that's the best part. Waking up, if it feels good, we should go ahead and keep it up. They say too much of a good thing, baby. I never can get enough. I wanna make love in the morning, right under the sun. I wanna make love.
The first one I have for you is this is the speed round. What's your favorite chewing gum flavor?
Mint, like peppermint.
Beautiful. Floss or water pick?
Floss.
First reaction if you found out someone used your toothbrush.
I'm gonna boil it in hot water.
Dude, 100%. With fucking bleach and everything, and then toss it and then get a new one.
Burn the house down, to be honest with you.
Dude, exactly. Does Chris have a chapstick flavor preference?
As neutral as possible.
What would be
As
a flavor?
Maybe like also a mint. I have one that's like a spearmint. Somebody got it for me, which is cool. So I use it because I have it, but and it's fine. I prefer like plain though, like just lip balm flavored.
So nothing too pungent, nothing too strong. I love it. Okay, got it.
I feel like I don't want it. I don't want anything that feels like it's got extra shit in it that doesn't need to be there. You know what I mean?
Dude, 100%. So everyone, if you ever want to pucker up with Chris, no fucking chemicals on your lips, okay? All natural, baby.
Like your face, brush your teeth.
Exactly. If Colgate asked for one of your songs in their commercials, it cannot be In the Morning. Which one are you letting them use?
Maybe begging from that same project.
Such a good one. I love that one too.
Baby, you keep begging, 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 'cause you know that I can't say no. And I know that we've been down this road before. Every time I get the strength to let go, you keep coming back to me, running back to me, yeah.
Yeah, this is good. I don't know. Yeah, why not? Why not? That's a hard one. I don't know. It's whatever kind.
Dude, 100%. Well, it's such a good one. Thank you so much for doing that speed round with me. I had to kind of get you back into, the loosening up mood before I asked you for any spoilers of what is to come in 2026. What can you tell us about what's in store for Chris this year?
At this moment, not anything specific. I'm writing a lot. I'm booking a lot of shows. I'm making content. I am in a season where I'm trying to show up as consistently and as completely as possible and see what opportunities present themselves to me. Last year, I put out both of those projects. I put out the Can You Feel It EP. I put out Be Free Christopher. I had spent a lot of time making those projects, and I don't feel like I really properly presented them to the world. So this year is about actually promoting the music that exists, writing new music, seeing where I am creatively now, and yeah, just trying to show up and see what presents itself to me.
I love it. Well, I cannot wait to see how else you're going to choose to promote your music. I don't don't think I told you this on the email, or maybe I did, I don't remember, but it was through TikTok. I saw a slight little clip of Can You Feel It and immediately went to look you up. So somehow you're doing something right because it got to my algorithm and I'm so grateful for it. So
Grateful for you, man. That's really cool that, like, because you look at it and it's like 300 views, 200 views, and you don't know what the impact actually is. But the fact that we're here having this conversation because of that is like, that's really cool, man. It's actually very affirming. So thank you.
dude, of course. Well, listen, I've got to ask you this one last question before you close out and tell everyone where to find you, okay? Any chance we will get a hotcakes and agave artwork with you on it?
That is me on it.
Get out of here. Is it really?
I am the torso. It should be on my page. You got to dig. I'll find it and send it to you. But we shot videos. So the way we made that cover art was we actually set that scene. We put me on a bunch of stools laying down. They poured syrup all over me and put pancakes on me and ate pancakes off of me. And we took a photo of that and then they like drew it again. And that's how we made the cover art. But there's an actual photo and video that exists of that. So I'll find it and send it to you. That was the most fun I think I've ever had making a video with the guys from Sage. Shout out to Sage, the band. Dude, we had so much fun, bro. It was so stupid. It was just such a dumb idea, bro. But it was so funny, like eating pancakes off of me. It was so stupid, bro.
Feels like falling in love. Must be doing something right. Cause it's all that I want. That it feels like falling in love. Must be our season, baby. Cause everything is ready to you. What you wanna do.
Dude, well, we're definitely going to require a 2.0 version of that in the future projects, okay? Just saying, just speaking for us, just speaking for us. I don't know who us is, but we're speaking to it into existence, okay?
Run it back. We'll make French toast next time.
Dude, 100%. And yes, you'll have to send me those just so I can see. I'll definitely get on your Instagram. I don't follow guests until they show up because, if a bitch gets stood up, I'm not trying to unfollow people when I get left hanging. But I have been following, I have been seeing you on Instagram, so I'll definitely hit the follow and keep up with you then. Just keeping it real. A lot of people have asked me off the record, like, oh, why didn't you follow me before recording? I'm like, bitch, I didn't know if you were going to show up or not,
Feel that. And then he's like, I'm following this person, and it's like, fuck you. I don't care about you. You didn't
Dude.
show up when I asked you to.
All right, now I'm blushing because I'm being a little too blunt, but that's just the truth. But yes, you'll have to definitely show those to me on Instagram. Please tell everyone,
Absolutely.
Chris, where they can find your music, where they can stream these projects, and also where to find you on socials.
Yes, so it's at Chris Scalco, Scalco, Scalco Music on Instagram, and Chris Scalco everywhere else, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, wherever you listen to your music.
Dude, amazing. Thank you so much for giving me your time. We'll definitely be in touch, and I can't wait to see everything else that's going to come out of your creativeness for sure.
Dude, thank you so much for making the time. Thanks for making the connection from the TikTok to actually having the conversation, dude. That's really cool. I appreciate it.
Dude, for sure. And I'm definitely going to manifest an in-studio version 2.0 of this interview in the future. Mark my words, it will happen. It'll be fun.
It will happen. My brother lives in Austin, so I'm gonna come out there and visit at some point. So I'll let you know when I do.
Yes, please do. It would be so awesome.
Yeah, I'll bring some pancakes.
Dude, hell yeah. I'll have the silverware ready.
Let's go. There you go.
Just kidding. Who needs silverware?
Yeah, right. Exactly. I'm just going face first, dude. What are we waiting for?
100%. Thank you so much, dude. We'll definitely be in touch, all right?
Yes, sir. Thanks so much, man. Have a great day.
Of course, you too.
Bye, dude.
Hey, if you've made it this far, don't forget to follow the socials on the screen or in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. See you next week.